That night, as promised, Garrett sat cross-legged across from Helwa, the torchlight flickering against the walls. "From now on, when you learn chi from me, you will address me as master." Helwa frowned. "I just want to learn how to create a shield." Garrett smirked. "For someone like you, who barely knows how to use chi, a shield is still far away." He looked impatient, his jaw tight. "I don't want to waste a whole month on theory." "Never underestimate the basics, inmate Helwa." Garrett tapped his forehead with 2 fingers. "You don't have to keep calling me inmate," he muttered. "I know I'm one already." "Then pick what you'd rather be called. Stray mutt, little shit." "Inmate is fine." "Good choice." Garrett's grin widened. "So what is chi exactly?" she asked him. Helwa stayed silent. Garrett sighed, then began explaining anyway. The basics. The 5 ways chi could be used. People were usually born leaning toward one of them, and with talent or training, they might manage 2 at most. "So, get up," she ordered. "For what?" he asked warily. "This instructor has trained others before," Garrett said calmly. His eyes widened. "I'm not your first disciple." Garrett tilted her head, watching him. "Does it matter?" "Not really. Carry on," he muttered. "Good. Anyway, this instructor learned something from experience. The best method," her lips curved faintly, "is learning through pain." "What?" "Focus on gathering chi in your abdomen," she instructed. "Hold on, don't tell me." Helwa stiffened, alarm sparking in his eyes. Garrett's grin widened as she rolled her shoulders. "I'll show you the 5 types personally." Helwa tried to stop her, but Garrett only raised one hand. "Relax, I'll use one hand only." Before he could argue, her fist shot forward, slamming into his abdomen with crushing force. "This is musculoskeletal type," she said evenly. "You concentrate chi into one body part to enhance attack and defense." Helwa barely managed to block, his arms trembling against the impact. He staggered back, panting hard. If he hadn't stopped it, he would have been dead. "Get up," Garrett ordered, her eyes sharp. "Next is elemental type." She lifted her palm and flame roared to life, wrapping around her hand. Chi can be imbued with any element: fire, water, lightning, earth. Even telekinesis counts. She charged, the blaze trailing behind her. Helwa braced, but the heat alone scorched his skin. "Now material type," Garrett said without pause, drawing a blade of pure chi that shimmered like steel. "You overlay chi onto an item or create one outright." Helwa dropped to the ground, gasping, his body drained of strength. "Let's stop here," Garrett said at last. But Helwa shook his head, voice hoarse. "I want to continue." "You can't block a mental attack anyway," she replied flatly. "And miscellaneous type covers everything that doesn't fall under the others. That's me, your instructor." Her eyes glinted in the dim light. "I can use a little bit of all types." It was a lie, of course. Only Mint could wield all powers freely. "Miscellaneous isn't all that useful," Garrett said casually. "But it makes me the ideal person to teach a rookie like you, inmate Helwa." Helwa groaned in frustration. Garrett patted his head. "Hey," Helwa muttered. "It's not hey, I'm Sir Garrett," she corrected with a smirk. "My lovely little disciple doesn't seem eager to memorize anything." For the first time that night, Garrett's smile softened, genuine, almost tender. "It's been a while since I handled anyone this gently," she thought. Helwa blinked, confused. Who exactly was this person? Even he knew no warden treated an inmate like this. His thoughts were cut short by her voice. "So, out of the 3 attacks you blocked today, which one was the easiest, or at least the least awful?" "Material type," he admitted after a pause. "When your spear hit me, it hurt less than the others." Garrett's eyes narrowed knowingly. "Most people naturally resist their own type, which means," she leaned closer, her voice low, "you're a material type chi user." Helwa stared at her, furious. "Wait, you put me through all that just to find that out." Garrett shrugged, uncaring. "We know now, don't we? Congrats on discovering your ability." She gave him a casual thumbs up. He huffed, red-faced, so pissed it looked ridiculous. Worse, he found himself weirdly agreeing with her. Then a small, helpless laugh escaped him. Of all the lunatics I've met, you're the craziest, Sir Garrett." Garrett merely rubbed his cheeks, feigning apology. "Was that too hard? I held back clearly." Helwa grumbled, but something in him softened. Surviving alone here was getting harder. Her help had weight. He felt the heat of her hand on his cheek and, almost without thinking, pressed his face into it. "Just for now, I don't mind this warmth," he realized. This suspicious kindness, he would accept it. He looked up at her, stubborn and half-smiling. "Suit yourself, but in return, you better take full responsibility." He was ridiculous. He was stubborn. He was, in one impossible way, entirely and infuriatingly cute. In 2 months, Helwa had safely reached the 7th floor, but his training was getting harsher. Garrett pointed toward the pit filled with sharp spears. "Jump." Helwa froze, panic in his eyes. "How about you clear down there first before telling me to jump? Are you trying to kill me?" Garrett clapped once, almost cheering. "I make no promise of your safety." Helwa frowned. "So I really have to jump into this death trap?" "You seriously lack faith in your mentor," Garrett replied, smiling. "Faith," Helwa snapped, "says the one who almost killed me with a punch. You're a material-type user. Your power grows best in extreme conditions," Garrett said. "That doesn't mean you have to make life-or-death situations," Helwa snapped. "Better here than dead, right?" Garrett said, eyes cold. Before Helwa could answer, Garrett shoved him. He fell forward, screaming as the pit rushed up toward him, black spears flashing like teeth. Air whipped past his face. Panic slammed into his chest. "Think," Garrett had ordered. A glowing net of material chi bloomed beneath him, a web of faint light that stretched and caught him before he hit the spears. The net flexed, then held as he dropped onto it, shaking all over. Garrett watched the net steady and broke into a grin. "See, I knew you could do it," she cheered. Helwa lay there for a long moment, chest heaving, eyes wide. He felt sick and alive at the same time. "Are you hurt?" His voice came out trembling. "This is ridiculous. What the hell is this thing?" Garrett couldn't help but laugh. "Still don't understand anything?" he asked in a pleasant tone. "This world runs on no logic at all. You'll come to understand it, whether inside the tower or—" Garrett stopped mid-sentence, his smile fading. He felt it an ill will, sharp and directed at them. "Or outside," he finished quietly, his eyes narrowing. There was no one around, yet Garrett couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The next day, trouble found them. A massive prisoner was stomping through the corridor, eyes locked on Garrett and Helwa as if itching to crush them. Garrett's mind flashed back to Stephen's warning a few days ago. "You sure you haven't pissed anyone off?" At the time, Garrett was confident. He handled everything perfectly right. He thought back carefully. Sergeant Kane had asked him to bring tea. Garrett did exactly that, brewed at 100 degrees, the optimal temperature. But Kane had grumbled. "Why the hell is it so hot?" Then Kane told him to organize the paperwork. Garrett did, by burning all of it, since Kane had clearly said he never wanted to see paperwork again. Later, another guard told him to guard the storage room and let no one in. Garrett took it seriously, too seriously. He hadn't even let Kane himself inside. Garrett's brows furrowed. He followed every order exactly as told. Yet maybe Sergeant Kane hadn't been too pleased with his style. He glanced at the huge prisoner bearing down on them, a thought creeping in. Did that guy really send prisoners to teach me a lesson?